I hope everybody's doing great. I'm just gonna jump into topic. The question is, how and when did I find out that I was psychic? All right. Um, it started very young. I have memories of my childhood that when I share with my mother, she gets very surprised. And my memories, they start from like 6 months, 4 months, like 4 months old, when I started like crawling, and I would tell her stuff that I remembered. So I have a very, very, very strong memory, good mind. Okay, mashallah. All right. So when I was 5 years old, um, I had this dream. In my dream, well, I'm very lucky that I was born into a huge family. I got to see my great grandmother and same great grandfather and my grandfather, and like I had to see and live with generations before me. So I'm lucky in that department. Anyways, when I was 5 years old, I had a dream. In my dream, I dreamt that my grandfather passed away. So I was 5 then. It was a nap. It was an afternoon nap. So I had that dream, and my aunt was in our house, the sister of my mother. She woke me up from my nap. And in the dream, I was in the funeral of my grandfather. So when she woke me up and she's like, Sa, wake up. And she's like, why you have tears? I had like tears rolling off my face at that time from that dream, because the dream was very lucid and I remember it very well. And I didn't reply her. I was a kid. I didn't reply her. I just woke up and I'm like wiping my tears. And she's like, get ready. You have to go to your grandparents' home. Your grandfather passed away. So that was the beginning of my intuition, psychic ability, understanding, I would say. And it was kind of different because in the dream, I dreamt the father of my father passed away. But in reality, it was the father of my father who passed away. Now, I would see him in my grandfather's house, my great grandfather. I would see him in my grandfather house and grandma house, and I would think he was a friend visiting my grandfather to drink coffee with him. It's funny. It's really funny. It's hilarious. So in my dream, I had a different image. It was a different person that passed away. In my dream, it was my grandfather. But in reality, it was the great grandfather. So I thought a lot about that, and I understood that dreams, they're my door. They're my oracle. I received information through dreams very heavily. I still do. Yet, I understood at 5 that it comes in symbols. It doesn't necessarily mean that ABC is going to happen exactly as I saw it. It's just a simple. Like, in my mind, my grandfather died. In reality, it was my great grandfather who passed away. That was the first psychic experience I would recall, all right? And I was 5 then. So growing up, for me, I always seeked spirituality from a very, very young age. I was a weird child. I'm still kind of strange in ways, in very unique, loving ways. Anyways, my mind at a young age was different, is still different, all right? I am a very different individual, extremely unique. I'll tell you that. So, growing up as a child, I would seek spirituality. I would not avoid other children because I was very, very popular. From a very young age, everybody seeked me somehow. It's just everybody was my friend. I'm still a very talkative person, yet in my adulthood, I get into silence mode a lot. Anyways, growing up, I would seek spirituality. I would seek this stuff. And I grew up in a very mystical, beautiful place. I'm from the Middle East, all right? A small, tiny country called Sultanate of Oman. So I'm from there. And in the place I grew up in, mm, beside our house, there was a cemetery. Um, Not like walking distance, I would say 6 7 minutes maybe. All right. And right beside our home, we had something called fellage. I don't know what it's called in English. It's like tunnel of water that goes into farms, you know, to feed the farms, to feed the farms with water, to water the farms. Sorry, English is my third language. So, anyways, hang in there. So, and behind this like village, this stream of water that runs behind it, there was like wadis. Wadis are like vast space of earth. It's not the desert, it's similar to desert, but it's filled with like small hills and mountains, and we had a vast of it. So I grew up in a very mystical space, and I would seek spirituality all that time. Very young age, I don't know, I had a different childhood. I would walk a lot by myself in places no child should be. I don't know. It was awkward. I never felt alone. So when I was 12, I would just speak about glimpses of experiences that made me realize, hey, I have it. Hey, there's something different with me, or with my mind, or with my channel. But anyways, when I was around 12, 11-ish, my brother was like, he took my Walkman. At those days, in the 90s, there was like this thing called Walkman where you put a cassette tape with the headphone. And anyways, he like kind of stole it from me. So I suspected it was him. So I went to ask him, did you take my Walkman? Where is my Walkman? I want my stereo Walkman. Where is my Walkman cassette thing? And he was like denying it. He is 3 years younger than me. So anyways, he denied it. So something inside my voice said, like it was my voice inside me, by my own voice said, go outside the house, behind the house. So I went outside the house, behind the house, in the yard yet. In the yard, I went behind the house, and the voice said, open the cylinder. It was like a small door between say the kitchen wall from behind the house, and then there's like a space, and there's a small door, and when you open the door, there's like a gas thing inside, and that gas thing, it supplies gas to the stove inside the house. So anyways, a voice inside my head said, get out of the house, go behind there and open that door where there is the gas thing. I opened, and when I opened the door, I saw my brother backpack. So, and the backpack had 6 pockets or 8 pockets, something like that, multiple pockets. And a voice said, the small pocket in front, unzip it. And I unzipped it, and I swear, my Walkman, my thing was there. It was there. So I took it, and I didn't say anything to my brother. It's a funny story. I didn't say anything to my brother at all, you know. Maybe he thought like, this girl is, but anyways, so many things happened. Also, when I was in school, I had this, I was in a like private school at that time, probably in grade 3 going to grade 4. So anyways, there was this cute boy, but my country is filled with beautiful people. Everybody from Oman is super pretty. So anyways, there was this cute boy. One day he came to school, and I knew him. Well, I noticed he was cute. But anyways, so in my mind, it's like we were friends already. So anyways, one day he came to school, and that day, one dimple showed up in his face. Only one dimple showed up. And when I saw him, I said, uh-oh. He said, what? I said, your parents are going to split. They are going to split. They are going to divorce. He was like, what? And I said, after the divorce, you're going to get another dimple here. It's so sad. The story is sad because his parents literally, they did divorce. They did divorce. I remember when we were classmates from grade like third, fourth, fifth until sixth. We were classmates, me and this classmate of mine. So anyways, his parents did get divorced at when we were like grade five, and then he did get the other dimple, and I was like, told you. It was sad for me because I would go to his mom house sometimes, and there was a period of time where like they would just take me for dancing lessons, and I would see his picture by his mom bed, and I would really not like what I said to him, but it did happen. So growing up, I learned a lot to just zip it, not say much. Especially like there was a period where I lived with my grandmother, the mother of my father, and she taught me so much how to seal my lips, how to hold my anger, my emotions, and not like burst and stuff like that. So I realized I was psychic from a very very young age, a very young age. Growing up, my mom was extremely strict, and I grew up in a household with a mother and a father until I was 9, and then I was suddenly in a dysfunctional situation. That's when my mom decided to leave us. But anyways, growing up with my mother was at the beginning very hard for me, extremely hard. It was very hard. I would always run to my dad. Um, I know everybody will think, oh, you're a girl, your father child, but anyways, she was extremely hard on me. She never learned how to read and write growing up, so she was very more like, she put pressure on me so much. When I was 5, she bribed the principal to let me start grade first. So I started school very early, and my birthday was like in the middle of the year there, in the middle of the school year, something like that. So I wasn't like eligible because you start grade 1 at that time when you're 6. But she bribed some like the principal, and she put me in by grade 5. On top of it, she took my siblings. I had like I have brother and sister from same mom. She took them and she sent them to my grandmother house during school days. All right, during school days. So I would be extremely alone, and she wanted me to focus so much in school. So on top of the regular school, she also enrolled me in afternoon school, and I was only 5. So I had 2 school programs, I had 2 set of homeworks. I come back from one school, and then I get ready and I go out again. And this lasted for 3 years until my brother started school, and then she brought him home so he could start school with me, and I had some company. So during that time, I didn't have company in the house. It was very scary because I saw and hear stuff, and I couldn't tell anybody. I couldn't tell my parents, like, I don't know, at that young age, what will I tell them? Will they believe me or not? It doesn't matter. So anyways, I would see. And I didn't know that I was psychic, or this stuff is because I have a gift. I didn't know that. I thought, you know what? There's so much horror movie in the world. Like, I thought I was watching so many horror movies, and maybe I did. But anyways, I would like not necessarily communicate with the spirit world, because they would communicate with me. And every time my mom would send me to bed very early, 7 p.m., I have to be like deep asleep, and she wouldn't care whether I'm asleep or not. So by 6:30 I go to bed. So 6:30 p.m. So she would like turn off the light and wouldn't care what I do with myself or whatever. So me falling asleep every day, what will I do? I would go in my mind. I would play the whole day from the minute I woke up. What did I do? What did I wear? How was my day? What did I do? Action by action. Okay. I would play how did I get inside my classroom, who did I see, what did I say, who did what to me. I would play everything in slow motion before bed, just so I can fall asleep. And I kept doing this for years, and it enhanced my psychic ability. It really did. Because in my head, I would be like, maybe I shouldn't have said that, maybe this person shouldn't have done this. And when I see them in my head, my classmates, I would like psychically give myself predictions about their life, and I would compare it later on. So this is how I became to know that I have a gift. When I was 16 years old, I started reading cards. I ordered actually from Amazon. I ordered my first tarot deck while I was in Middle East Arman. And I used it to read. And I asked her, she was in a private school, so it was mixed girls and boys. So I told her to tell her friends that I would give them free readings. The only condition is I would use the book. And they agreed. So that was like me practicing how to read. So I read other people every day, like street reading kind of thing. And it just improved my psychic ability much more. Nowadays, I don't need cards. I realized that my body does the reading. I read with my body. All I need is to just think of the place or the person, and I get the reading right there, and it's all accurate. Or I would walk into people's house and someone's house, oh, it's even the worst. Because demonic attachments are very real. And I could walk outside somebody's house with a demonic attachment. Luckily, now with my whole experience throughout this lifetime, I know what's a demonic attachment by my body. I know. And I know what's a jinn attachment by my body if it's not demonic. And I know which energy is like evil eye, which energy is witchcraft. I just need my body. That's it. It speaks to me. It took a while. It took 1 year or 3 years of my body speaking to me, because at first I thought I was under psychic attack, but I wasn't. I'm just super sensitive. And it was my body talking to me, but I didn't know how to translate it. So I grew up with psychic abilities. It took me a very long time to accept and know and understand what I have. It wasn't like, oh, at that time or at the first dream or at the first incident. No. Now I know that I know. Now it's different. Now it's very, very different. I don't need cards. Yeah, I still use cards. And one thing about my readings, when I do my readings, I don't remember anything after the reading, what I told my client. And that's the weirdest part. How my mind is like, super, I don't remember now. I'll be in a reading, I'll say something, and then I will like, that's it. Reading is done, memory erased. Maybe because I give so many people readings, but at the same time, God only knows, right? God only knows. My memory is super strong though. It's just when it comes to clients' readings, I tell everybody, I'm recording the session, but you need to record it, because don't come and ask me, because people do that all the time. They come back and they're like, remember when you said this and that? And I'm like, do you know how many people I deal with? I pray for. I avoid so like interacting with people in my daily life, just so I can focus on my client energies and the work I do for them, whether it's a reading or healing session or like prayer. I really I make sure my energy is super clean for that manifestation work, and or that opening, that psychic ability to bring that information to the person. So I don't remember it after I deliver. It's done. It's like done. So this is just a glimpse of how I got to know that I was psychic. I have so many stories about jinns, spirits in my life, and just basically story. I come from a rich culture filled with spirituality, knowledge, and excitement. So much excitement. So I will share them with you. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Thank you. Goodbye.